Okay, so first off, have you been to the games before?
Yes.
How many times?
Twice in Madison, 3 times in Carson, so 5.
Yeah, Carson was probably a little bit easier for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So first off, how did your arrangements this year compare to previous years? Your travel and housing arrangements.
Well, this year was the most interesting travel. Usually it's just a plane ride, you're there. This year, the only way I could afford it was to actually fly to Denver, get in a camper van with 2 friends and road trip, 15-hour road trip from Colorado to Madison.
The driver tells his buddies, got one life to live. They scream into the night, let's get it over with.
With a stop in Nebraska, which I don't advise camping without air conditioning in August in Nebraska, because at 11 p.m. it is 88 degrees.
Yeah, that I would have never fallen asleep at that point.
I
I'm
I don't know how I managed to get any sleep.
I've got to be cold or at least cool, or at the very least, I mean, bare minimum, air has to be moving. And
None of it. There was none.
Oh, that'd have been absolutely miserable. It'd be like trying to take a nap out in the sun at 3 o'clock. No way.
Yep.
Jeez. Yep. What was it like? So you guys had an RV for the week, right?
Yeah.
How was that? Is that a first for you in terms of like a games trip type of deal, or
yeah? Usually it's like an Airbnb, but having done the RV this past year, like I don't want to go back and do it any other way.
Oh, talk about that then. That's really, I've never talked to anybody who stayed in an RV for the week. So tell me about that.
So I think it was just awesome because the campsite right there at Madison, it was like a 200-foot walk from the venue. So, I mean, if we got too hot, if we were hungry, like anything, we just wanted a break from the thousands of people that were there. Just an easy little walk back to the RV, cool down, grab some food, relax, and then go back in.
Yeah.
Where before, I feel like when we stayed in like Airbnbs, it was like, oh, well, do we really want to leave right now? Because if we leave and we go all the way back to the Airbnb, like we're probably not going to come back. So
yeah. So how was it? I mean, actually being there. I mean, so, obviously your 5th time at the games. It's not a super new thing, but what's it like? What was your experience like just at the games?
So every time I go, for me, it seems to be less about actually watching the events and more about spending time with people that I've met throughout all these years, and then meeting new people and spending time and talking with them. Whereas like the first couple of years, I feel like it was like, okay, I got this event at this time, I gotta be there, I gotta do that. And like this year, like I didn't really care if I missed an event. I cared more about reconnecting with a friend that I knew was there, so trying to like meet up with them. Or if I was on my way to watch an event and I ran into somebody, I didn't really care. I just stopped and I talked to them and hung out.
Yeah, that I will say that's kind of the nice part about knowing that it's immediately on YouTube. Because like, like this moment, I can't go back on YouTube and relive this moment or replay this moment. I can go back and watch, what happened out there on YouTube. So
yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that's really cool. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think, the older I'm getting and I'm just realizing, or I'm just putting more emphasis on different priorities than I would in the past, just finding and making more time for the people already in my life than some event like I could just go watch on YouTube, like you said.
Yeah. So, favorite non-CrossFit moment from the games?
So there was probably 13 of us or so at the campsite one night. Behind the RV, we had this little like screened in little tent type thing, and we just played this epic game of like would you rather. And like I think my abs were sore the next day from laughing so hard at some of people's answers.
Yeah. I have never heard a game of Would You Rather be described as epic. So that is awesome. Which and that kind of falls into exactly what we were talking about. Like that's, those are moments that you're as much fun as you can have outside of those types of venues like the CrossFit Games. Like, I guess when we're surrounded by work and responsibilities and all that, like you don't always get to have those moments. And so that's really cool for that. Okay. Favorites. I don't know if I want to say CrossFit moment or event, but let's go. Let's just favorite CrossFit moment for you from the games, if you have one. I know you did a lot of non-CrossFitty things, so could be let's say it could be a moment or it could be an event. Either way.
Well, I mean, I did get to meet Rich Froning for the first time.
Oh man. Oh my goodness. We're hand buddies now. Oh, we've got it. Okay. So this story has to be told. So go from the beginning. You got to meet Rich for the very first time. So how does that come about?
So one of the people that was at the campsite and one of the people that I road tripped out with to the games was Kristen Reffett. Kristen Reffett was on the Mayhem team back when it was 6 people, and they won the affiliate cup and all that stuff. And we got to talking, and I was like, what's funny is like I am friends with and know a lot of almost like all the Mayhem people and am connected through like Power Monkey Camp and all that stuff, but I have never met Rich. And she was like, what? We need to fix that. And they were staying at a campsite like across the way. And we were driving in from going to get coffee one day before the game started. And she's like, oh, there's Rich. Like, let me go introduce you. And I was like, really? And backstory, like when I started CrossFit, like I was fanboy Rich.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I started in like 2011-ish. So like right when he won his first championship. So he was like the name and all that stuff. Anyways. So I was a big fanboy. So I was like, oh, I can't believe I get to meet him. So we pull up, I roll down my window, and like Kristen and Rich are like talking through me. So I'm like doing this awkward, like, like Rich is this close to my face, like type thing.
You're doing that to be nice, but you just want to sit there and stare at Rich. Like, oh my God.
I wanted to be like, so Kristen introduced me, and we shook hands, and he was like, it was really nice meeting you. Hope we get to hang out, later. And as he went away and we drove away, I looked at Kristen, and I looked at my hand, and I was like, maybe some of his strength and ability will rub off on me now. And then I was like, I'm never washing this hand.
Oh yeah. And so you have showered with a plastic bag on your hand ever since.
Right. Yep.
That's so funny. It is so funny. See, you do it to me sometimes, not to me, but when I'm with you at places, like you just forget that, within the CrossFit space, people are famous to CrossFitters, but they're not famous to anybody else. Like, it's not like it's LeBron James or something. Like, nobody knows. And so it really cultivates this normalcy amongst people. And so, like, you're just like, oh, hey, let's go talk to such and such. And it's like, oh, yeah. you know them on a basis that you can just walk up to them and talk to them. You forget, like, and so it's funny how those interactions tend to play out. Because see, it was really funny because we are going to have a same person, but so it's one thing that you actually did for me. So like I said, I mean, I'm a CrossFit YouTube fanatic. I spend more time with YouTube on my TV watching old CrossFit games and documentaries than I do watching regular TV. And so I didn't know who you rode out there with. And so, we're down there and you're putting a tent together, and I look over and there's Kristen Ruffett helping you put a tent together, right? And you guys are doing that. I'm like, oh, and so I'm like, I'm trying to play it cool. I'm like, oh man. And Kristen is the most normal, unassuming person. It's just, she's not, but it's like, oh my gosh. And so Kristen, I even, she introduces her Kristen, and I'm like, hey Kristen, I'm Kyle, very good to meet you. And 20-30 minutes later, after we've had this really awesome, fun conversation, I've told her my story and we're talking, and she kind of brings up about being a former CrossFitter. I was like, I have to admit, I kind of know who you are, and she's like, oh gosh, and not in a bad way, but she, and so it was funny, but it's just I like, as soon as I saw her, I recognized her. And so it's funny how those stages go, that it's like, you meet somebody, and then and it's almost like the more people that you meet, then all of a sudden, like, your circle begins to widen and widen and widen. And now all of a sudden you're in the middle going, holy moly, I know this person and that person. And but the really cool thing about CrossFit is you know them, but they're just so incredibly normal that it's just like knowing somebody down the street. It's not like, going through someone's people to get to meet LeBron. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure that I don't know if I'd want to meet LeBron. Not that I got anything against the guy, but I just think that I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'd rather meet Rich or whoever. So Justin Medeiros, the mullet, but
oh man.
First off, I'm so glad that Justin Medeiros won, only because I think I really appreciate the strangeness of having unusual hair on the podium now. I need someone with a curly mustache to win the CrossFit Games. So
we should put our feelers out there. Be like, who wants to grow out a really epic mustache?
The only problem is there's still there's like all the guys that are as we're in this transition where you're starting to see the new faces start to dominate. Like, I'm not entirely sure that Justin Medeiros can grow a full facial hair's worth of a mustache.
I've been pretty up close to him, and I don't think a lot grows there.
Are you okay? So I've already watched one hot take from a YouTuber today. Is this the hot take saying Justin Medeiros got hair plugs because he can't grow hair that good?
He can't grow facial hair.
Oh, okay. So you're not willing to go so far as to say that he is faking the mullet, just not going to grow.
That mullet is real.
Okay, I gotcha. I thought we were.
I have been about a foot away from that mullet. And
how have you? Okay. So then now it begs to ask question. So when were you a foot away from the mullet?
at the CrossFit Games after party.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Where was this at? Was it this year?
Yeah.
Where was it at?
The
Are you at
Edgewater?
liberty? Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like, are you at liberty to say? I thought maybe you were sworn to secrecy.
No, I had to remember the name
Had
of
to
it.
had to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Was he wearing his medal?
No,
Hmm.
he had a shirt on though.
Well, that's good that he had a shirt on.
No,
Was it
like
was it the white
first,
shirt?
the first place.
Oh, the
shirt.
first. Oh, he had that first. Okay, I got you.